The night sky shimmered, a vast expanse of darkness dotted with countless stars, each one a distant sun, a beacon of light in the infinite void. The stars twinkled like diamonds scattered across a velvet canvas, their light traveling across the cosmos to reach the eyes of those who gazed upon them. It was a night like any other, yet something extraordinary was about to unfold. Above the little town of Bethlehem, a new light appeared. This light was different, more brilliant and captivating than any other star in the sky. It shone with an intensity that drew the eyes of all who looked upon it, a celestial beacon heralding a momentous event. The people of Bethlehem, unaware of the significance, went about their nightly routines, but some felt a strange sense of anticipation in the air. This was no ordinary star. It was a star that seemed to possess a life of its own, pulsating with a rhythm that resonated with the very fabric of the universe. Its light was pure and unblemished, cutting through the darkness like a sword of divine radiance. It was as if the heavens themselves had opened up to reveal this celestial wonder, a sign of something greater than anyone could comprehend. This star pulsed with a strange energy, an energy that seemed to reach out and touch the hearts of those who gazed upon it. It was a mystical aura that filled the night with a sense of wonder and awe. The star's light was not just a visual spectacle, it was a message, a call to those who were attuned to the mysteries of the cosmos. It was a sign that something miraculous was about to happen. It beckoned, calling forth travelers from a distant land. These travelers were not ordinary wanderers, they were seekers of truth, guided by the light of the star. They felt an irresistible pull, a compulsion to follow the star wherever it led. They knew that this journey would be unlike any other, a pilgrimage to witness a divine revelation. The star was their guide, their compass in the vast desert. These men, the Magi, were wise and learned. They were scholars and sages, versed in the ancient knowledge of the stars and the heavens. They had spent their lives studying the celestial bodies, seeking to understand the mysteries of the universe. They were men of great wisdom and insight, respected and revered in their own lands. The appearance of the new star was a sign they had long awaited, a fulfillment of ancient prophecies. They studied the stars, seeking knowledge and understanding. The Magi were adept at reading the celestial charts, interpreting the movements of the stars and planets. They knew that the heavens held secrets, messages from the divine that could guide and enlighten those who could decipher them. The new star was a puzzle, a riddle that they were determined to solve. It was a sign that demanded their attention and their journey. The appearance of this new star startled them. It was unlike anything they had ever seen before, a celestial phenomenon that defied explanation. The Magi were filled with a sense of wonder and excitement, for they knew that this star heralded a great event. They felt a deep sense of purpose, a calling to follow the star and discover its meaning. It was a journey that would take them far from their homes, but they were ready. It spoke of a momentous event, the birth of a great king. The Magi knew that the star was a sign of a new beginning, a herald of a new era. They believed that it marked the birth of a king who would change the world, a ruler of great wisdom and power. The star was a beacon of hope, a promise of a brighter future. The Magi were determined to find this king and pay homage to him, to witness the dawn of a new age. Driven by curiosity and faith, the Magi began their journey. They packed their belongings, gathered their provisions, and set off into the night. The star was their guide, leading them across the vast desert. They traveled with a sense of purpose, their hearts filled with anticipation and excitement. They knew that their journey would be long and difficult, but they were determined to reach their destination. They traveled from the east, following the star towards Bethlehem. The journey was arduous, taking them across harsh and unforgiving terrain. They faced many challenges along the way, but the star's light gave them strength and hope. Each night they would look up at the sky and see the star shining brightly, a reminder of their purpose and their destination. The The star was their constant companion, guiding them through the darkness. Each night the star guided their way, a beacon of hope in the vastness of the desert. The Magi followed its light, trusting in its guidance. They knew that the star was leading them to something extraordinary, something that would change their lives forever. The journey was long and difficult, but the star's light gave them the strength to carry on. It was a symbol of hope and faith, a reminder that they were on a divine mission. Their journey was long and arduous. The desert was unforgiving, with scorching days and freezing nights. The Magi faced many hardships, but they pressed on, driven by their faith and determination. They knew that their journey was a test of their resolve, a trial that they had to endure to reach their destination. The star's light was their guiding force, a beacon that kept them moving forward. Yet the Magi pressed on, their hearts filled with anticipation. They knew that they were on the brink of a great discovery, a revelation that would change the course of history. The star's light filled them with hope and determination, giving them the strength to overcome any obstacle. They were driven by a sense of purpose, a calling that they could not ignore. The journey was difficult, but they knew that it would be worth it in the end. They knew they were witnessing something extraordinary, something that would change the world forever. The star was a sign of a new beginning, a herald of a new era. The Magi were filled with a sense of awe and wonder, for they knew that they were part of something greater than themselves. They were on a journey to witness a miracle, a divine revelation that would change the course of history. The star was their guide, their beacon of hope, leading them to their destiny. Word of that new star and the Magi's quest reached King Herod. The news spread like wildfire through the ancient city of Jerusalem, a city already steeped in history and intrigue. The Eastern Magi, wise men from distant lands, had been following a celestial phenomenon, a star that they believed heralded the birth of a new king. Their journey had been long and arduous, filled with hope and anticipation. He ruled Judea with an iron fist, his heart consumed by paranoia and fear. Herod was a man who had clawed his way to power, and he intended to keep it at any cost. His reign was marked by ruthless efficiency and a network of spies that kept him informed of any potential threats. The thought of another king, a newborn king, threatened his grip on power. The thought of another king, a newborn king, threatened his grip on power. Herod's mind raced with the implications. A new king could rally the people, could challenge his authority, could even lead to his downfall. His paranoia grew with each passing moment, and he knew he had to act swiftly. Herod summoned the Magi to his grand palace. The palace, a symbol of his power and wealth, was an imposing structure. The Magi, with their exotic attire and air of mystery, were ushered into the grand hall. Herod, seated on his throne, exuded an aura of authority and menace. He questioned them intently about the star and the prophecy it signified. His voice, though calm, carried an undercurrent of urgency. He needed to know everything they knew, every detail of the prophecy, every clue that could lead him to this potential rival. "Where is this newborn king of the Jews?" he demanded, his voice laced with barely concealed anxiety. The Magi could sense the tension in the room, the barely restrained fear in Herod's eyes. They knew they had to tread carefully. The Magi, wise to the ways of kings, answered carefully. They had encountered many rulers in their travels, and they knew how to navigate the treacherous waters of royal intrigue. They spoke with measured words, revealing just enough to satisfy Herod's curiosity without giving away too much. They spoke of the prophecy of a ruler who would come from the line of David. They explained the ancient texts, the scrolls that foretold the coming of a Messiah, a savior who would lead his people. Herod listened intently, his mind racing with possibilities. They explained that the star had led them to Beth-lehem, the prophesied birthplace of the Messiah. The star, a beacon in the night sky, had guided them across deserts and mountains, through hardships and trials, to this very moment. Herod's eyes narrowed as he absorbed this information. Herod, cunning and ruthless, devised a plan. He knew he couldn't let this potential threat go unchecked. He had to find this newborn king and eliminate him before he could grow into a rival. His mind worked quickly, formulating a strategy that would allow him to maintain his power. He told the Magi, "Go and search diligently for the young child." His voice was calm, almost friendly, but the Magi could sense the underlying menace. They knew they were being used, but they had no choice but to comply. "And when you have found him, bring me word that I may come and worship him also." Herod's words were honeyed, but his eyes betrayed his true intentions. The Magi nodded, knowing they had to play along for now. But in his heart, Herod harbored a dark and sinister intent. He had no intention of worshipping this new king. His plan was far more nefarious. He would use the Magi to find the child, and then he would eliminate the threat, securing his throne once and for all. The Magi, wise and perceptive, sensed the danger. But they had their own mission to complete. The search for the king had only just begun. Herod's mind raced. The weight of his crown felt heavier than ever, pressing down on him with an almost physical force. He had ruled for many years, but the fear of losing his grip on power never left him. Each day brought new anxieties, new threats, and new reasons to be wary. His heart pounded as he considered the latest news that had reached his ears. He paced his chambers, fear gnawing at him. The grand halls that once symbolized his might now felt like a cage trapping him with his own thoughts. The walls seemed to close in, echoing his footsteps as he walked back and forth, back and forth. His mind was a storm of worries, each one more troubling than the last. The thought of a rival, a child king, was unbearable. The thought of a rival, a child king, was unbearable. How could a mere infant pose such a threat to his reign? Yet the prophecies were clear, and the whispers among his advisors were growing louder. This child, born in Bethlehem, was said to be the true king of Israel. Herod's fear turned to anger as he brooded over the implications. He had clung to power for too long, silencing any threat to his throne. He had clung to power for too long, silencing any threat to his throne. His reign had been marked by ruthless decisions, each one designed to secure his position. He had eliminated rivals, crushed rebellions, and ruled with an iron fist. But now, this prophecy threatened everything he had built. The idea of a Messiah, a savior who would lead the people, was a direct challenge to his authority. The prophecies echoed in his mind. Ancient words spoken by prophets long ago now seemed to come alive with a terrifying clarity. They spoke of a new king, a leader who would bring peace and justice. Herod could not allow such a figure to rise. He knew the scriptures spoke of a coming Messiah, a true king of Israel. He knew the scriptures spoke of a coming Messiah, a true king of Israel. The scholars and priests had confirmed it, reading from the sacred texts with solemn faces. This was no ordinary child. This was a threat to his very existence. Herod's mind raced as he considered his options. Could this child, this infant in Bethlehem, be the one? Could this child, this infant in Bethlehem, be the one? The stories of the child's birth were spreading like wildfire. Shepherds spoke of angels, wise men followed a star, and the people whispered of miracles. Herod's fear grew with each passing day. He could not ignore the signs, nor could he dismiss the growing belief among the people. This child had to be found and dealt with. Herod's fear festered into a terrible resolve. His mind, once clouded with doubt, now focused with a chilling clarity. He would not allow anyone to usurp his authority. The decision was made, and there would be no turning back. He would take whatever measures necessary to protect his throne, no matter the cost. He would not allow anyone to usurp his authority. His resolve hardened as he summoned his advisors and soldiers. The plan was set into motion, and there was no room for hesitation. Herod's determination was absolute. He would find this child, this potential rival, and eliminate the threat once and for all. He would find this child, this potential rival, and eliminate the threat once and for all. The soldiers were dispatched with clear orders, their mission grim and unyielding. They scoured the land, searching every home, every village, leaving no stone unturned. Herod's paranoia drove them, his fear fueling their relentless pursuit. His decision, fueled by paranoia and desperation, would have devastating consequences. The weight of his actions bore down on him, but he pushed the guilt aside. He convinced himself that it was necessary, that it was the only way to secure his reign. Yet deep down, a part of him knew the truth. His actions were driven by fear, not strength. Herod's actions would plunge Bethlehem into chaos and sorrow, forever marking him as a tyrant in history. The cries of mourning mothers, the scenes of devastation would haunt the land for generations. Herod's name would be remembered, not as a great king, but as a ruler whose fear led to unimaginable cruelty. The legacy of his troubled heart would echo through the ages, a stark reminder of the darkness that can consume even the most powerful of men.